Hey y'all guys, it's Tavin Dillard. You might have known that by now. I don't know if it's your first time listening to the Tavin Dillard podcast or not, but I've been here before. I mean, how long, you might be asking? Well, this is season 7, episode 6 of the Tavin Dillard podcast. I am, in fact, a mowing, edging, grass cutting legend. And boy, it's been hot. I've been hotter than a wool sock full of baked beans. A lot going on here in the Julys. If you're listening to this on July the 18th, the day this podcast episode comes out, then you know that just a few days away, July 22nd, I'm going to be in Newkirk, Oklahoma. I got a live show there at the K County Amphitheater. You could look it up on the interwebs, or if you got a Thomas guide in the back seat of your car. I don't know how you get around, okay? I don't know. I don't know if you just kind of follow your nose or how that works, but it's a free show. It's going to be this Saturday night in Newkirk, Oklahoma, 8:30. We hope it's going to be a little cooler by that time. Don't matter no how, we're going to get together and have a hoot of a time anyway. I'm going to have a few shirts there of mine that I've, designed. Also some stickers and stuff like that away. Not every shirt I have, but if you want to get out there and save on some shipping, and get a shirt, you're welcome to do that. If you can't make it, I understand. Not everybody's around the Oklahoma area, but that's an opportunity if you are. And like I said, I mean, July, boy, is hot. Well, let me get to the housekeeping, as they say. We got Tavin's bacon bag in the show notes today. The bacon bag is getting sold. People getting it open, tearing it open, eating it up, maybe sharing it. I don't know. I don't know if you're sharing that bacon, but you can get some more there at the link in the show notes. All my shirts. I'm just going to, not go down a whole list of all of them. You know what I'm wearing today, though? If you're looking at the video, it's a fully mature peacock with a squirrel in a headlock. I mean, one of my favorites. I love them all. I made, designed all them shirts, but boy, the first one I ever drawed was this fully mature peacock with a squirrel in a headlock, and it was basically a dare. Myron Curtis wanted me to guess what he got for his birthday. I didn't want to guess what Myron. I'm a full-grown man. Just tell me what you got for your birthday. He's like, you got to guess, Tavin. So I guessed like a tetherball in a backpack. He's like, no, come on, be serious. And I said, you got a portrait of a fully mature peacock with a squirrel in a headlock. He goes, no, I did not. Turned out he got a moped. And he's laid that moped down a couple times. Well, speed wobble kind of thing. He take Mary Beth Tucker on dates on that thing. Steady testing the weight limit of that. But that's what he got for his birthday. He didn't get none of the other things I said. But then folks said, hey, I want to see a portrait of a fully mature peacock with a squirrel in a headlock. And the squirrel's sore embarrassed. Sore embarrassed. If you see this drawing, you'd know that squirrel's like, I don't know how this happened. That peacock ain't got thumbs. I can fool people all day long, them humans. I can mess with their gardens and they can't catch me. But this fully mature peacock, boy, he pulled one over on me and got me in a headlock. And I don't know what my next step should be. Well, I know what you are, little squirrel. You embarrassed. And that shirt is what I'm wearing today. But I'm going to put a link to all the shirts in the show notes today. And the personal video greetings, still shooting them. I appreciate y'all thinking of me when you want to wish your friends and family happy birthday and that kind of thing. I'm happy to help out. It's a hoot of a time. So that link will be down there too. And always you can text me 501-322-6249 or at the emails tavindillard@gmail.com. I mentioned I got that show in Oklahoma coming up, and then I got a private event that I'm doing in Texas at the beginning of August. So there's things going on, but the email, the reason I was thinking about that is the email. If you got a business question like, hey, can we book you for a show or that's probably the best way to do it, tavindillard@gmail.com. That's the housekeeping. Now what's going on this week? Well, can I just put it to you like this? A lot's going on. A lot is going on. My Memaw, her best friend Tabby Jean Tipton, and her other friend Claudia did a gals road trip to the Gatlinburg. And then, of course, Team Burger Shed, we had a softball game. We hit a rough patch there. We on the upswing, I feel like, in this past week. I'll give you a little update on how that game went in a little bit. We played Team Sonic, and we played them before, but, it ain't no easy wins, and there ain't no easy losses because losses ain't fun. So, and sometimes easy is not in the cards. But don't matter no how. I ain't telling you if we won or lost yet, but I'm saying we played Team Sonic. And I was there. Not everybody was there. Well, all our team was there, but somebody was missing from the concession stand. I'll let you fill in that blank, but I'll tell you anyhow here in a little while. I want to get to this road trip first, though. So Memaw going to drive. They're going to go in Memaw's car, 91 Buick Regal. And so Donnie Wayne Chambliss, he come over to help with the whole looking at the car. You know, when you go on a road trip, you're going somewhere, you need somebody to look over your car, make sure it's road ready. You don't want to get broke down, especially like Memaw, Tavin, Tipton, and Claudia. They ain't the kind of gals that hoof it, you know. If they stuck somewhere, they sitting there till somebody come and get them. They ain't about to walk anywhere to get no place. The most Memaw walks is at water aerobics class, and that's in the shallow end. But I doubt if Memaw's walking in the shallow end because her car broke down, we got other problems. Like, did she drive her car into a swimming pool? You know, there's other things going on to worry about. So, anyhow, Donnie Wayne come over because he run that repair shed out by the lake, 100 yards from the bait and tackle shop, fishing clips that Rance Farnhort run. You know, his family got business minds. His mama brought some stuff. She's trying to do a little advertising at the softball fields this week. Sybil, I'll get to that later. I want to get to this road trip first. So Donnie Wayne come over. He usually work on them, you know, small engines, boat motors, ATVs, that kind of thing, lawnmowers. But he know his way around trucks and car engines too. He just didn't make that his livelihood like that away. So he over in the trailer park. He looking at Memaw's 91 Buick Regal, just checking it out. Well, Candy Dilroy's there. You know anything about Candy? She catches animals. She picked up a feral cat at the 4th of July parade, named him Jasper, took him back to the trailer park, had a little patriotic top hat on for a little bit. I don't know at what point they got tired of that, but I seen that little patriotic hat smashed in a trailer park on the gravel at Chancellor Park. So it said goodbye to that little top hat, and truth be told, I ain't seen Jasper around the trailer park. And maybe Candy grieved over that. Maybe she's sad about that. I mean, she caught a full-grown adult crow. She caught all kind of things, y'all guys. But now she got a litter of kittens. I don't know where they came from. Maybe that feral cat was full of babies and had the kittens and then took it off. I don't know. These are things I just speculating. I'm over here speculating. But what I do know is there's a new litter of kitties in the trailer park that Candy Dilroy somehow is in charge of. You know, that's Chet Dilroy and Gracie Dilroy's grandbaby. And Gracie and her sister Delonda run Early Bird Gets the Perm. Boy, they in full swing this summer. Them summer perms. Ladies is flying out there ready for the beach, ready for the picnic, ready for the family reunions, ready for the lake, all kind of things. So Candy got these little kitty cats, and my Memaw, you know, she's on the front porch of her trailer, you know, kind of watching over Donnie Wayne as he works on her car, but mostly telling Candy, don't you feed them kitty cats by my trailer, Candy. Keep them over on your side of the trailer park. I don't need no cats up in here. Memaw don't care about no pets. She really don't. She got enough baby dolls to take care of. She got Becky Thacker Haynes. She got Babs Gristle. She got Clarice Bonwell, Beatrice Gail Merton, and Rachel Christine. And then she got a couple little fellers there too. She just got quite the thing. And then, you know, she got to switch Rachel Christine out of her patriotic outfit now into something else. I don't know what. You know, it's a big to-do. It's a big to-do. So Memaw ain't trying to get a pet that she got to feed, because as much as she has Snicker bar parties for them baby dolls, we know who's eating them Snicker bars. She can't make it up like, oh, I got to feed these, I got all these mouths to feed in my trailer. You do not, Memaw. You got one mouth to feed, and you're doing a good job doing it. And I'm happy to get the Snicker bar. She's my Memaw. I let her do it, okay? But she's over there on the porch in the trailer park, you know, letting Candy know, hey, you can't be having them kittens eating over here, making them think it's okay to be close to my trailer. It ain't okay to be close to my trailer. So you can picture, if you will, Memaw on the porch of her trailer. That 91 Buick Regal just parked just to the right of that porch. And then across the trailer park, you know, there's that main road through it that's all gravel. Is Candy Dilroy's trailer. She lives just north of J.T. Whitlow's trailer, and he's the one that's tried to attach a zip line between mine and his before, and it's kind of diagonal like that away, because my Memaw is 2 trailers back from me on that side. Don't matter know-how, you don't need a map of the trailer park, but I'm telling you right now, that's what was going on. Candy had them kittens, and them kittens, you know, they exploring. They little kittens, you know, they new to the world. Hi, world, what's going on over here? Oh, no, you don't go over here. You know, Memaw teaching them to ruse and having to teach Candy to ruse. Say, hey, if you raising them babies, you raising them little kitty cat babies, that's not, you need to let them know where they can go and where they can't go. And Memaw ain't afraid to put a hurting down, you know, like lay down the law. So that's going on. Well, they get everything ready, and Cricket come by, before she go to her shift at the nursing home, and she bought Memaw a new swimsuit from Uptown Gal. Mort Dwight's wife, Glenda Donna, she run Uptown Gal, and so Cricket, just thought she'd be nice and buy Memaw like a swimsuit, because the pool that the hotel they go into in Gatlinburg, her, Tavin, Tipton, and Claudia, it's got a pool. So the hotel, they spent some money. I ain't gonna lie to you. They got this hotel in Gatlinburg, continental breakfast. Okay, now you see what's going on, don't you? I guess you get a certain age, money must grow on trees. But continental breakfast, it's like those muffins in cellophane, just wrapped in plastic wraps. Sound like a trailer park fire when you try to unload it. You're trying to unwrap it. And they got the muffins. I don't know how many flavors. I didn't ask. They got cereal. It's cold cereal. Because there is hot cereal. If you're talking about oatmeal or grits or cream of wheat or something like that, they didn't have that. But they had cold cereal and milk, that you put on the cereal. I don't have to give you the recipe for how to make cereal, but she had a pool at this Gatlinburg hotel and continental breakfast. So them gals was ready to party. I'll just tell you like that. And so Cricket get Memaw this new swimsuit. Now, Memaw got a swimsuit for the water aerobics that she do down to City Pool with Coach Hicks. He'd run a boxing gym in town, but he also had lifeguard at City Pool, and he led a water aerobics class at her Mabel Childress is in. Well, the bottom line on all that is, I guess Memaw got a water aerobics swimsuit now, and she got a vacation swimsuit, which is, I would call that pretty fancy. But Cricket liked to take care of my Memaw, and Memaw loved Cricket. Memaw loved her. So she dropped out off. She didn't stay too long. She had to get down there to the nursing home to her shift and clock in on time like that way. I told her, hey, we said our hellos and goodbyes, and then off Cricket went. And wasn't too long after that, eventually, Memaw, Tavin, Tipton, and Claudia hit the road to Gatlinburg. And you're probably thinking, well, I bet they had a good time. Well, I'll tell you about that. Okay? You buckled up. You know how it is. Boy, there's a lot of excitement when you're going on vacation. You're getting things packed, you anticipating wearing certain outfits or your flip-flops on whatever day, and you got your little thing. And of course, you might buy something while you're there in Gatlinburg. Got the main street there. You might see some gift shops or things that you can buy. So they steady anticipating. Of course, big thing on vacation is, what you gonna eat. Where are we gonna eat? Where's a good place to eat? And they got a lot of options there. So, they excited. I'm excited for them. Well, in the evening, I get a call right here in the trailer. Ring, ring, ring. Hello, this is Tavin, like that away. Yeah, Memaw, what's going on? So, what was going on was that when they stopped at a Love's truck stop on the way, just to get the essentials, they went in there and they got some, like Funyuns, I think it was. Memaw didn't want hot fries. She was trying to go a little more mild, so she just got regular Funyuns. She got some work gloves, porcelain hummingbirds, soda pop, and sunglasses. And then she said, when we went out back to that 91 Buick Regal, what was in the back seat? A kitty cat. A little baby kitty cat. So way we figured, she did a little Columbo on it and figured out the crime and said, hey, when Donnie Wayne was looking over my Buick Regal and one of them doors was open, one of Candy Dilroy's little kitty cats got in there, and now here we are halfway to Gatlinburg, and I got a kitty cat in the back of my Buick Regal. Now Memaw can be ornery and she can be pretty mean, but she wasn't about to drop a kitty cat out at the Love's truck stop on the way. Good on her, I guess. But the thing about it is, it was in the back seat. Claudia was in the back seat that whole time, but apparently she napped pretty hard, and she's none the wiser. I don't know what that kitty cat could have been chewing on her foot or her shoes or her shirt or her nose. I don't know, but apparently it didn't mess with her, but it did do a little mess in the floorboard of Memaw's car. Claudia had to clean that up. I don't know why they didn't smell it. I think maybe it might have happened while they went into the Loves, like it had been pretty tame, and then said, well, them gals is gone. It's time for me to cut loose. I don't know. I ain't in the mind of a kitten. Truth be told, I don't speak meow. I don't know how to understand what a cat's saying. I just think they all hate me. Every look I ever got from a cat was like, I could care less about you. I pretty much wish you'd walk away from me right now. That's what I'm guessing. Like, that's the best I can tell, but I don't know for sure. So Memaw and Tavin are pretty hot, because it's like, we didn't go on a gal's road trip to Gatlinburg, get a hotel that's got a swimming pool and continental breakfast so we could babysit a kitty cat on our vacation. So they basically put Claudia in. You want to talk about Uptown? How about a kitty cat in a handbag? Didn't expect that. Well, Claudia basically had to watch that thing. They got to Gatlinburg, and she's waiting outside a taffy shop, and she couldn't go in with that cat. And Memaw and Tabby Jean just told Claudia, you gotta watch that, because they was both pretty convinced. They said if we was in the back seat, either one of us was in the back seat on that many miles driving, all the way halfway to Gatlinburg, we would have known that a little kitty cat was in there with me, and we would have turned around before we even got out of Chancellor Park, and we would have dropped that kitty back off at Candy Dilroy's and been done with it. Now, Claudia, you didn't do that, so now you got a cat to watch. I mean, that's basically how it went. So they had a good time, but that cat, when they went out to supper, they left that cat in the hotel room, tore up one of Memaw's vacation moo-moos. I mean, little kitty cat claws. I don't know what all it did. And then Tabby Jean had already bought an airbrushed shirt that said, "Hungry by nature, gardener by choice," with like a butterfly on it and like some corn on it and holes in that. I don't know how you place that. Sound like a one-of-a-kind shirt to me, but that's what the kitty cat's doing. So they ended up having a good time one way or another. I didn't get all the details of what else that cat did, but I think tearing up a moo-moo and an airbrush shirt that says "Hungry by nature, gardener by choice" with corn and a butterfly on it is plenty, And Memaw, she drove home. She got a heavy foot, but boy, that foot gets twice as heavy when you try to get a kitty cat back to a trailer park. She didn't want that cat in her car no how. So they got back to the trailer park, and Candy Dilroy, she realized right away, she's missing a kitty cat. She'd been crying, little eyes were red. She had to get over it a little bit because, they was gone like 2.5, 3 days. Apparently, the continental breakfast pretty good. Turned out it was blueberry muffin, and I think it was some sort of I had a walnut and raisin muffin, which, I don't know, sounds like softball practice to me. Just throw that thing up in the air and hit it with a bat. But that's what they had. So they back. Memaw had a pretty good road trip. You ask her about it, she'll tell you. I wouldn't bring up the kitty cat if you run into her at the Walmart or down the Early Bird Gets the Perm, but she might bring it up herself. And you just listen and you just nod. You ain't got to give her much commentary. She don't need no encouragement on that end, the way I say it. So, Claudia felt bad, but she took a liking to it. She's trying to adopt that cat now from Candy Dilroy, and Memaw did say that was a good idea. She said, "Candy, you either need to get homes for all these cats or watch them better." And Candy's like, "Okay," but I wouldn't be surprised if Candy didn't do none of that. I mean, she liked to catch animals, and she likes animals around, but you asking her to keep an eye on them, like a steady, focused eye on them, or find homes for them, hey, you hard-pressed. You hard-pressed for that to come about, is the way I see it. So how's Team Burger Shed, you asking? Well, we had a game. Cody was there. Brody was there. JT was there. Russell was there. Rance was there. Rusty was, I already said Rusty. And Russell, well, we was all there. I guess instead of naming everybody on the team, I could say the whole team showed up. And we was ready to play. We feel pretty good. We ain't the best in the world. We 6-4-1, but we on the upswing. The way I look at it. And we got down there to the fields tonight, and Mary Beth Tucker, she had to work late at the veterinary. She went to school for horses, and she's down there, and so she's like the main concession stand gal this season, and she couldn't do it, and I guess she put the word out to Cheryl Grubbs, because Cheryl's done it before. Now, Cheryl don't make much less of a mess than Mary Beth do. Between her bringing her dog Jalapeno get a hold of something that don't agree with its guts, and Jalapeno basically explode all around or inside that concession stand. I mean, I'm telling y'all guys, friend to friend, we had some serious messes down at the concession stand. And if it ain't a mess, we've had the whole thing burnt down. You probably know that too, though. But everything seemed okay today as far as Cheryl get down there, her and her husband Shane, they own Donut Goals, which is a donut shop in town. Turned out some real good donuts. Apple Frittlers, standard glazed twists, chocolate bars. Them chocolate bars, real good for neck strength. And you don't realize till you get later in life, like, hey, well, my neck strength will come in handy. And the periphery, when you can see left ways, right ways. I mean, you can see front ways pretty good because the eyes, that's natural where them eyes go. In your head, they're looking front ways. But sometimes you got to look left ways, right ways. And the chocolate bar, my experience, really helped with that periphery. And just a reflex. If somebody throws something, you can duck it. Better with the chocolate bar. Apple Frittler do that too. I mean, it's good for brain food. You're real sharp, mentally sharp with that. So Cheryl came down there today with about 4 dozen donuts. And she wasn't trying to be like Santa Claus. She wasn't trying to give them away. She set them on the counter at the concession stand, and she's steady making money. She's selling them donuts, and there's a line for them, and I don't blame her. Now, I ain't happy that Cheryl's messing with the menu. You know how I feel about the concession stand menu, but I'll tell you one thing. That's pretty easy thing to bring. You can't mess up. It's not like bringing a crock pot with cheese and then a little thing of jalapenos and then chips, and people are like assembling stuff up there, like the cupcake decorating they did before with the ice and then the sprinkles and the squirts. You squeeze it out there on there, and then you got like the cupcakes themselves, and then people fighting over the color ones. Do I want a vanilla, or do I want a chocolate one, or do I want a strawberry one? It's like, come on. You give them one choice and hand it to them. But anyhow, Cheryl brought them donuts down there, and she brought a dozen for free to our dugout, Team Burger Shed dugout. I don't know why, but I'll tell you one thing. We put a hurting on them, and we was playing loose and free. And when you playing loose and free, some good things could happen. Now, we'll back up before we get to the field, back to the concession stand. Sybil Farnhart was down there at the concession stand. Yes, Rance's mama. Rance's parents are Jerry Don and Sybil Farnhart. They run the flea market in town. And she brought a remote control helicopter down there for no other reason but to show people how cool it is, how fun it is, and to please go down to the flea market and buy out their inventory, because I guess they came across a box of remote control helicopters, and now they're trying to sell. Well, in true to form for a remote control helicopter, that thing lasted about 9 seconds, and it crashed right into the side of the concession stand, and it couldn't work no more. So I don't know how many people hoofed it down to the flea market today or yesterday, or are going to do that tomorrow to get one of them, because they could still see how cool it was them first 7-8 seconds before it hit that concession stand, and say, well, I could fly it better. I just won't fly, and they go down there, because it's pretty cool to see a remote control helicopter in the air. It's pretty cool. A little propeller on top, spinning, and then you can move it, and then where you move it on the remote control, it moved that helicopter away. There's something magical about that, where you able to control something that you ain't really touching. It's like far away from you, but you steering it, and boy, that'll draw them in. So I ain't saying Sybil did a bad thing, but she did break one pretty quick. But, 9 seconds, that's about the lifespan of any remote control vehicle I've ever been around. There's some stuff Rusty Tidwell's got built a little stronger, and he got a little more skill in steering them. So, yeah, there's certain variables. There are certain variables that you have to take into account where a remote control device could last a little longer. So back to the fields, though. We out there, we playing loose and free. We hitting the ball. We running. We stealing bases. We making things happen. And Team Sonic, hey, I give them kudos. They showed up. They's ready to play. Now, they didn't get a dozen donuts. I don't know why Cheryl gave Team Burger Shed a dozen, didn't give, Team Sonic. I don't know the reasons behind that. There's questions I don't ask in this life. It ain't worth the time to me. But I know we had donuts. What'd you get, Tavin? You probably wonder what I got. I got standard glazed twist. The reason how come is I don't want to rush an apple frittler. You asking me to eat a apple frittler in between innings at a softball game, or scarf it all down before the game start, that ain't doing an apple frittler justice. An apple frittler to me is basically a sit-down meal. Put it on a plate, heat it up with a little butter on top, give me a knife and a fork, tuck a napkin into my collar, and with that napkin and with that fork and with that plate and with that frittler and with that butter, we ready to go. We ready to go, and I got time. I ain't rushing nowhere. But that standard glazed twist, boy, I take a bite of that. I can just gnaw on that, like a piece of jerky, but it ain't jerky. It's strength for your bones. It's strength for your haunches. Strength for your biceps, which come in handy if you hitting a softball, and your triceps. And now that we talking about it, your interceps and your forceps, all them get strengthened with a glazed twist. Standard glazed twist. There ain't no fancy frills about it. It is what it is. So that's what I had. By the end of the game, Team Burger Shed, we scored 16 runs. Oh, that's a lot, Tavin. But did Team Sonic score more? Oh, no, they didn't. They scored 11. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good number. But 16 to 11, we won that game. Team Burger Shed went from 6 wins in this softball season to 7 wins in this softball season, to 4 losses to 1 ties. So we playing all out. Myron Curtis got new cleats actually, and he got blisters. But you know the thing about it is, the blisters he realized after the game, he played a pretty good game too. He's swift-footed. There's something about it. Even if you're an adult, you get new shoes, you figure you can run faster, even if you can't. And I think that's just in his mind the whole time. So he gonna have to nurse them blisters. I don't know how big they are. And Mary Beth, you know, his girlfriend work out at the veterinary. Maybe he tell her about it, and she give him like a horse Band-Aid or something. You know, if it's a big one. I don't know what kind of Band-Aids horses use, but I bet she got some pretty good Band-Aids, a couple pretty good wounds out there at the veterinary. And she's out there wild tonight. I don't know if they had surgery or what, you know, what you do out there. I don't know if they groom them. I don't think they really a grooming service. It's mostly like making you feel better, stitching you up, or giving you aspirin. I don't know. I did not go to school for horses. But we had a good game. You know, Cheryl Grubb showed up with the donuts. I ain't mad at her. She didn't bring jalapeno. That was a win. I don't know. I don't think Sybil sold that broke helicopter, but there may be a line, you know, come tomorrow morning for the helicopters that ain't broke, the remote control ones down at the flea market. I heard Jerry Don run. But we had a good game. And next week, this upcoming week, me and Cricket got plans to go to the outlet malls with Cody and Lindy Ray Mantell. They getting a babysitter for Daphne, and Lindy Ray ain't had that other baby yet, so she's still pregnant with that one. And we gonna go out there and just do a little shopping, you know, maybe just window shopping, get some food, you know, like a little miniature vacation. I mean, we ain't going to Gatlinburg, but I'll tell you one thing, I'll be checking the back seat of Cody's car, make sure there's no kitty cats in there. Boy, that's for sure. But I tell you what, guys, I sure am glad that you joined me today on the Tavin Dillard podcast. And if you could rate this, I really appreciate the ratings. We around 700 something people had ratings on Apple iTunes. I don't know. I can't figure out Spotify. I know it's on there, and I know folks have been asking me questions on there, and I can't figure out how to get to them questions. But so if you got a question for me, or you trying to get in touch with me about anything, don't do it through that Spotify, because I ain't seeing them questions. So like I said in the show notes today, you'll see my phone number, 501-322-6249, and my email, tavindillard@gmail.com. Them's good ways. People DM me on Instagrams, and that's direct message, I think that stands for. So I try to keep up with them too. But if it's like business stuff, if like live show or whatever, the email's better, because stuff can get buried on Instagrams. As much as I try to keep up with it, it's just a little harder. Email make that a little easier, so that's how that goes. But if you could rate this podcast, I appreciate you. I appreciate you anyway, but I appreciate it if you would rate the podcast. Leave a comment on Apple iTunes. Share the podcast with somebody. All of that helps me. It's like you guys, if this is something you liking, those things are just easy things you can do to help me promote it. And as the audience grows, that's good, because then it's like, okay, well, I guess this might be something people want to hear. So anyhow, that's how that go. But I appreciate y'all. Stay cool. Let me get that watermelon helmet on this week, get the tank top on, find the swimming pool, get on the diving board, cannonball it, enjoy that water, enjoy your friends and your family and the watermelon. I mean, you got to eat it before you can wear it, so enjoy eating some of that too. I guess that's it for today, y'all guys. I should probably scoot out of here. I hope to see y'all this Saturday, Newkirk, Oklahoma, 8:30 p.m., K County Amphitheater. It's going to be a hoot of a time. It's going to be a hoot of a time. I hope you can make it. But if you can't, I'll see you on the interwebs. And hey, if you ain't got halfway to Gatlinburg in a 91 Buick Regal this week and found a kitten in the backseat of your car at a Love's truck stop, you having a pretty good week. Me, I'm Tavin Dillard. This is the Tavin Dillard podcast. And until next time, y'all guys, we'll see you later.